Alex asked her, if you are watching this, please let me know when auditions are happening for this, if there's no cast yet, because I would love to audition for this. I loved it. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Stephanie, and here we talk about books, wellness, fashion, pretty much anything I feel like talking about at the moment. And today I decided to finally make the video talking about summer in the city. Also, today's drink is, in my case, a very pretty fancy version of the pink drink. I have like little sprinkles here that match the book and match the vibe, and I thought that this would be great because, well, it matches the book. So good. And all I did for this one is white cran strawberry juice, unsweetened coconut milk from Trader Joe's, and I have like these Starburst pink powder things. I think I got them at Five Below, and I love them. It adds like a good amount of flavor for this, especially since I forgot to buy the freeze-dried strawberries, and I don't know how to do that myself, so I just skipped that step. I shook it all in a shaker with ice, and the reason why I shake it is there rather than in the cup itself is more just because of the powder. I want to make sure that it gets really like mixed in with everything. And yeah, then I just pour it, and in this case I poured it in a very cute fancy cup. I kind of wish this was pink now, but it's okay. Blue's my favorite color, so it's fine. I actually really like my outfit for this video today because our main character here, from what I gathered, she is someone who really likes to wear sweatpants and baggy shirts kind of thing. So I was like, I'm going to wear a baggy shirt and sweats. So here we are with the sweats. I almost messed up my knee on the one that I didn't even rise up. But yeah, this is my sweats. And my shirt says, this is my everyday cosplay. It's like one of my favorite shirts, so I thought I'd get really comfy and cozy while we talk about this book. Also, this format might be a little bit different as well, just like in my previous video, because I just want to have like a chit chat about the book. If you do prefer the format that I had before, which is where I really divide what I am discussing, and I have the timestamps and stuff with that, please let me know and I'll go back to that. But for right now, I just want to get comfy and cozy and just chat, just talk to you guys about this book, because I've actually been putting it off for maybe like 2 months now. I believe I finished this in June. It didn't even take me long to finish reading, and I just kept putting it off and putting it off, and I'm like, I'll get to it later, I'll get to it later. But then I got into other books, and then I was just like, I'll get to it eventually. So here we are. I finished Iron Flame, and I'm putting a pause on the series because I keep getting told that Onyx Storm is like, you know, and I'm just like, oh, I don't think I'm ready to handle that right now. Especially with how Iron Flame ended, and then also how Fourth Wing ended. I was just like, oh my god. So I'm taking a break from the series, and I'm reading The Summer I Turned Pretty. But before I get into my thoughts and what I liked about the book and whatever, I want to talk about this cover. This cover is actually why I got the book in the first place. I had no idea really what it was about prior. I ran into this book, I think, through TikTok before it released, because it was available for pre-order, I believe, in January or something. So I was like, I love this cover. It's pink and colorful and bright and very fitting for a rom-com. So I was like, I have to get this book, especially since it comes with like the edges like this. And I am like a New Yorker born and raised. So I was just like, I have to get this book. It's also in New York. Like, how can I not like it? Because there was probably only one book that I've ever read so far, to my memory, that I did not like, and it took place in New York. But I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it did. And it's called In 5 Years. I loved the concept. I loved all that, and that I think it took place in New York, but excuse me, I did not like how it was executed, the whole thing. I was just like, what? So other than that book, I don't think there has been a book based on in New York City that I didn't like and didn't want to be a part of, because I'm just like, I live here. I breathe this air. And I would walk through, like, past the places that are mentioned not only in this book, but in other books that are based in New York. So I'm like, I'm living a dream. Because this book is pink, I mean, like, I bought this because it's pink. And a lot of the books that I read tend to actually be more on, like, the blues, the grays, the blacks, and, like, darker colors is, for whatever reason, what I end up leaning towards. This, and now recently getting the ACOTAR series and the Crescent City series, I finally have some colorful books. But before those two, and this was like maybe a month or two ago, I got this, a month ago, it was just this book pretty much, because all my other books, yeah, and even the books I would read for school aren't even that bright. So, you know, it's kind of like, I kind of need this. It was an excuse to get it, because I was just like, I need more colorful books. I need something lively in this book, like in these bookshelves. So here we are with this. And I bought the signed copy. When it was first delivered to me, it didn't have the signature, and I was looking like everywhere for it. I was like, where is it? So I had to have one resent to me, and this one did come with an autograph. So I'm really happy I have it. And this is the Barnes & Noble edition. I did find out, like, through TikTok that there's other versions of this book, and if I could, I would have all of them, because it's just so cute to look at, and it would look so nice on a bookshelf, in my opinion. So I know that there's a Target version, and, like, in several different, like, places around the world there's a different version. I believe there was a Walmart version, and I'm like, I want it all, and I couldn't get it, so I only got this one. But that's okay. Maybe one day I'll get the other ones, who knows. Anyway, I'll get started with reading with what's on the book. Also, look at this. Look at this. It's a map. And, like, I mean, this is not an accurate map to my knowledge. Sort of. Maybe not, because I live by here. This might be slightly accurate. I'm not sure, because I know Central Park. Is this Central Park? No. I do know, like, Yankee Stadium is more uptown because I live right by it, sort of. So, the Bronx, that's me. And so I grew up, Queens. So I work Manhattan. I think this is accurate enough, because I know the Botanical Garden is up there further than Yankee Stadium. So it is so cute. And depending on which copy you get, I think there's, like, slight differences. Like, I think if you get the Target version, there's, like, a Target in the map. I forget, because I know I was looking all that up when I first got this book. So, and in this case, I see Barnes & Noble over here, and then there's, like, the cutest, like, picture of the book itself. It's adorable. Like, I love it. And let's not forget, like, this part, the hardcover of it. It's so cute. Like, I could go around without the cover, without, like, the sleeve, and I would still enjoy carrying this book around. It's just adorable. Anyway, now I'm going to get started with reading the book description. 27-year-old screenwriter Elle has the chance of a lifetime to write a big budget movie set in New York City. The only problem? She's had writer's block for months, and her screenplay is due at the end of the summer. In a desperate attempt to get inspiration, Elle ends up back in the city she swore she would never return to, in an apartment she could never afford, floor-to-ceiling windows, skyline views, and a new coffee shop to haunt included, parentheses. It's the perfect place to write her screenplay, until she realizes her new neighbor is a tech billionaire bachelor, Parker Warren, her stairwell hookup from 2 years ago. It's been a lovers-to-enemies situation ever since. When seeing him again turns into a full night of hate-fueled writing, Elle realizes her enemy/twisted muse just might be the key to finishing her screenplay. If she can stand being around her polar opposite. She writes anonymously, and he's on the cover of every business magazine. He frequents fancy red-carpeted events, and she doesn't like leaving her emotional support 5-block radius. One summer, one wall apart. He needs to fake a buzzy relationship during his company's precocious acquisition. She needs to write a movie around a list of NYC locations. Both need a break from their unrelenting schedules and a chance to rediscover the skyscraper glimmering, pizza crusted, sunlit charms of the city. Summers always end, and so will this agreement. It's all pretend. Promise. Until it isn't. I really like the sprinkles that I put in the drink, so I'm like chewing off of it. That's basically what the book is about. We have two main characters, Elle. I forget if she has a last name. And we have Parker Warren. They went from like a lover's anatomy thing like real quick. And the hookup, technically, in my opinion, wasn't really a hookup. Because if I remember right in the beginning of the book, nothing like crazy happened that I guess you would consider a hookup. So I think it's really funny that that's how it's written. Spoiler, I guess. So we have our two characters. They're very different from each other. But I guess they do have like something in common if you really think about it. If you're basing it off just that like little snippet of what the book is about, they both like work for their money. It's not like they were both given this. She writes her own screenplays, and he has his own tech company that's like on the rise. So it's like in that way, I guess they share similarities. But other than that, I think their personalities are very different, and I quite enjoyed it. A lot of people, from what I've researched, have said that they didn't really like the main female character because she was labeled as like the insufferable main female character. And I mean, there were moments, I'm not gonna lie, where I kind of wanted to drop the book because she was getting on my last nerve sometimes. Because there were moments where I feel like this guy was being really genuine and like he just ended up liking her and wanted to show it. But I understand from like her point, like her perspective too, like money can't buy love. Or, like, I don't know what everyone's viewpoint on that is, but everybody's idea of that is different. But in her situation, she didn't believe that you could buy her love, kind of thing, especially since she has like trauma, I guess, or like a past where I don't know how to like say this without spoiling it, but I feel like I might. But she just has things in her baggage and stuff that don't allow her to have people just give her money, or I guess gift her things that she didn't work hard for or whatever. So there were moments where I was just like, girl, just accept the fact that he bought the coffee shop. Like, I don't drink coffee like that. I'm not really a coffee drinker. When I do drink coffee, it's mostly decaf. And I mean, if someone bought me, like, I guess, like, the Japanese bookstore that's at Bryant Park, just because I love manga or something, I would be so happy, because it's like, whoa, you really went out of your way for me, and you only did it because I like it, you know? He bought, like, the coffee shop, and on top of that, has, like, a spot dedicated to her, for her to write, if I remember that right. And made sure that the place was stocked up with all her favorite stuff. I'm just like, he listens and he takes action with what he pays attention to with her. You know, like he was very different with her as opposed to, I think, how he was in the past. Like they were mentioning that he was sort of like a player, like he's a bachelor. So if I remember right, because again, I read this in June. He had seen people in the past, or maybe one other person, and he didn't take them as seriously as he took her, Elle. So, but again, I understand when you get to chapter 21, and I know it's a long ways. I know that you may want to drop the book completely before you get to that point, but I feel like it was worth reading because getting to chapter 21, like, you really get to understand why she is the way that she is. So she's not being insufferable just to be that way. Like, she's not a pick me or anything like that, even though she may come across that way. I don't know. She has her things just like everybody else does. So I feel like maybe we should sympathize with that. I don't know. Or try to understand that. I don't know. But I do know that chapter 21, that chapter, like, kind of holds a place in my heart. And that chapter was actually the chapter that made me want to audition for this. Like, this is something I would love to see myself in. Despite her being labeled as insufferable by most people. You just get more of a glimpse of her. And I really enjoyed that. And it was one of the moments in the book that felt very deep. Because this book in general, I feel like is a very easy read. Especially if you live in New York or you love the idea of being in New York. This actually gives you places to go. Like, if you don't know where to go for whatever reason. I mean, New York has so many places you could go. But if you don't know where to go and you're very interested in coming to New York, I feel like this book is a nice map. Like, it literally even has a map, and it's somewhat accurate because I do know that the Bronx and Queens are pretty much like that too. So I feel like it's worth reading. Now, in spiciness level, I do have to say I would rate this a 1.5 or 2 red hot chili peppers, just because you get those few chapters where it gets like really intense between the two characters, but it's not like if you were reading By a Thread by Lucy Score. It's not like that level of spice. It's much lower than that, because I feel like we're more focusing on the fact that this girl has 3 months to write a screenplay. And I know that's not easy to do. Like, I usually get given a month to do costume designing, so imagine just like, it's not easy to do all that. And she has to make all this stuff up. She has to figure out some way to create a story and in a short amount of time. So I feel like it just made sense to me that there wasn't that many spicy things, like spicy moments happening, just more because like she needs the time to finish the story that she's trying to write. And especially with having writer's block, girl, like she gotta really like hurry up. And summer is fleeting, guys, especially New York. I feel like summer is so fleeting because on top of everything, like New York recently became a subtropical or tropical area, so we get a lot of rainy days. So before you know it, like it's already fall and we've probably had like a bajillion rainy days, and we didn't really get to enjoy summer the way we would want to enjoy summer. You feel me? So it goes by really quickly. And like the amount of pages, this is like 292 pages. So it really felt like summer to me reading this, because I'm just like, it really goes by this fast. And then winter lasts you like, I don't know, 6 months, or at least it feels like it sometimes. So yeah, I think it was fun reading this, despite like the low level of spiciness. Sometimes you need a book like that. And I'm someone who doesn't really go for spice. I'm not reading a book for that. I'm reading it because I really like the plot of it, and I want to see how it's executed and how it's written, who is who, and then also I like to be able to just imagine the whole thing. And this book, because I live in the city, I had a very easy time imagining everything. And there's like a couple of scenes that I kind of want to recreate because I just thought it was so cute. Like they go through, instead of like a bar hopping experience, they go through like a pizza hopping experience where they're trying a whole lot of different pizzas. And even though I'm lactose intolerant, I am more than willing to do it because I love pizza, and New York pizza is so good. So I would love to do that. There's a scene where they go to the summit, I believe. It's the summit where they have like these cool, like, this cool thing where you could take nice pictures of. And I've never gone because it's more of a tourist attraction. So it's always there. So it's something I could just go at some point in life. I do want to recreate the scene because also that moment between Elle and Parker, I feel like it was one of their more genuine moments where they were not thinking about the fact that this is a fake relationship and the other isn't thinking I gotta write my screenplay, because Parker had like from what I understood, a fear of heights. So he's all the way at the top of this like tall building. And I think what happened was he noticed that how high he was. So he started getting a little nervous, and then she was just guiding him through that and was like genuinely just helping him. And I thought it was really sweet. So I felt like it was one of the least insufferable moments of the book. I loved it. All in all, I would rate this book a 3.7 out of 5 because there were moments that I did want to stop reading the book. I'm glad I like pushed through it, and honestly this cover does a really good job at pushing me through it. And I don't know, like, I read a lot. I have 2 bookshelves here and one here, and I'm about to get another one soon. So, and also like the books that I read aren't really rom-com. They're more along like fantasy with a little bit of romance and mystery, all that stuff. So I'm really like, even when I read romance, it's more dark romance. Like I would consider If Only I Had Told Her, like both books, I would consider that more on the dark side of romance and not in the like dirty, smutty way. I mean, like, it was just sad romance. It was sad. And I guess I only said dark romance because the covers aren't like bright or anything. They're kind of more on the darker side. So I don't really have much to compare this to. The only time I probably read like more romance stuff was like during Valentine's Day last year, 2 years ago, whenever I made the video based off like romance books and stuff. By a Thread is really the one that I'm comparing this to. And By a Thread was more like on the other side of romance. So, but also a fun book because it kind of reminds me of Devil Wears Prada, which is coming out soon too, so I can't wait for that. But anyway, I'm rambling. I don't know, like, I liked it, but I can't say that I loved it to the point where I would give it like a 4 or 5 out of 5, you know? 3.7. Mostly because it's based on in New York, and I'm pretty biased. So, yeah, I mean, I enjoyed it. But I definitely want to audition for this. I really, really do. I would love to see myself debut in a book like this. So, Alex Astor, if you are seeing this, again, I want to audition. I would love to audition. I think I have notes here. I have highlights of like what my favorite lines were, and I had more, but I did not have a highlighter. I always forgot to bring one with me. So the moments that I finally had one, I was able to highlight some of the stuff, and it's pink highlighting too, because I really wanted to stay on theme to what this cover was. Let's see. The one that I first opened would be, there's something peaceful about walking around a bookstore, knowing endless worlds are waiting to be discovered, knowing there's always an escape if we need it. I loved that line. This was, I believe, during the scene where they're in Barnes & Noble right now, and it was part of like their really long walk that I also want to recreate because I thought it was amazing. They started more uptown, and then they were working their way down. And then Parker had planned like when they were going to take coffee breaks and stuff, and what they were going to do in each spot that they were going to end up in. And then they ended up in Barnes & Noble. And I was like, that's the one on Union Square. So, which I don't work far from. So I was like, oh my God, like y'all are like passing through my job and stuff, but y'all don't exist. But in my head you do right now. So they enter the bookstore, and she's just thinking about that. And I was like, you know, it is so true. I love going to a bookstore. I love going to the Target book section. Anything relating to books, I feel, I don't know, I feel safe. I wonder if you guys feel the same. Like, how do you guys feel? I mean, you're in this and you're watching this because you like books. So it's like really nice for me. It's comforting. I loved books since I was like earliest memory, 3rd grade. So I love it. It's just something so different about being around books, smelling books, getting books, reading the books. It just, I don't know, feels like home. And also me personally being someone who likes movies and TV shows and auditions for things. It's just really nice to be able to imagine myself in a different world and being somebody completely different from my own personality. Like, I love fantasy because I love the idea of magic and swords and demons and monsters and stuff like that. Rebellion, revolution, like, I love that stuff. So, I don't know, it's fun. So reading that line, I had to highlight it because I was like, it's true. And it is a form of escapism as well for me, because even when times are like really hard, I know that I will always have my books and I will always be able to get more books. And I could just dive in and just enjoy that experience, you know? So it's honestly how I think I can get by a lot of situations. And it's also how I feel like I could still have a little bit of me still intact, despite anything that's like drastically changing in my life, or whether it's good or bad. Like, I feel like reading a good book will always keep me in line. And if you guys feel the same, let me know, because I don't think I'm the only one that feels this way. So yeah, I really like that line. So if that line alone gets you to read this book, cool, you know? Oh, and then like the page before that, I like highlighted something because it was funny to me. Oh, right, I highlighted this because I feel like it was just kind of in direction towards this book, like the physical book itself. So I'll read the sentence before the one I highlighted, just because I think it would make a little bit more sense. We walk around, me pointing out which books I've read, Parker increasingly puzzled by the book covers. He flips through a few pages of some. Do all books have maps? He asks. No, I say. Only the best ones. And I'm like, Alex, are you talking about your book being one of them? Hello? I thought it was really cute. I really enjoyed that line, and I giggled over it because I'm like, your book has a map, so you're saying that your book is one of the best ones that have a map. I mean, honestly though, she may be onto something, because I think the Throne of Glass series had maps, and the Fourth Wing series has maps, and I think even maybe the Red Queen series. I don't remember because I've read that like years ago, and I'm like looking at it and I'm like, I don't know. So I think it's really funny, and those are all good books. I really enjoy all these books, so I'm just like, maybe she's on to something. But I know she must be definitely be talking about her own book, and I thought it was funny. So those were just like 2 out of like the few favorites that I have. Again, like most of the ones that lines I did like, I couldn't even highlight because I didn't have a highlighter. I really have to be more prepared. But yeah, okay, yeah, I think that's it for this book. Let me know what you guys think about the book, if you've read it, and if you don't, or you haven't read it yet, I wouldn't recommend it. I would. If you want something that's a standalone book and not a romance series, and you want something quick and fun to read, or if you're having like a slump and you think that maybe you need something fun to read, I would pick this up. I enjoyed it. And oh my god, actually, can we just talk about I have to say this. Alex Astor would always be around near where I'm around. I was so mad when I found out a day after it happened that she was near my job. She was like literally maybe 2 or 3 blocks away from my job, signing this book And I was so upset because I was just like, I would have gone during my lunch just to meet her and talk about how much I love the cover. Because I'm like, prior to this book, I have not read any of her books. I know she has a very well-known series. I think it's Night Lark or something. It looks interesting, but I have a lot of books to read at the moment. So yeah, like, I was so mad that she was near my job, and I didn't know. I was so upset because I was like, I could have met you. And on top of that, when I went to the book signing for The Survivor Who Wants to Die at the End, she was right behind me. She was literally like maybe 2 or 3 rows behind me. And when she posted on her story, I saw my head. I saw the back of my head. I was like, that's me. She's right there. And I didn't even see her. I was so upset. I was like, another opportunity missed in meeting her, because I didn't even know she knew Adam, the author who wrote the They Both Die at the End series. I was like, I feel like I'm going to end up running into her at some point in life at this rate, because the way that the two of us have been like so near each other, but I've never met her, is like insane. Insane. So I wouldn't be surprised if the day that I actually meet her is for auditioning for this book. Who knows? You know? Who knows? Anyways, I think that wraps up my video for today. I got more excited than I thought I was going to be talking about this and making this in more of a chit-chatty format. Again, if you guys do prefer the other format that I've done in previous videos, the one before the Throne of Glass series, let me know, and I will change back to that. But I actually really enjoyed just talking about this book as if I was talking to a person. It was really fun because I get like really excited about talking about a book, and then a lot of the times I'm also like all over the place. So this video may not have timestamps for that reason. So let me know. Let me know if you guys have read this book, what your thoughts are. I want to know it all because I want to get to know you guys more and just be able to talk about this stuff, because I am dying to also talk about the Fourth Wing series, and I talk about it with like 2 people who have read it already, the books that are out and stuff, and it's really fun. I actually really enjoy it. So yeah, I hope you guys have a great day, a wonderful afternoon, and a fantastic evening, and I will catch you guys in the next video, which should be about the Summer I Turned Pretty trilogy, because that is currently what I am reading. I am on book 1, and each book seems to be about 300 pages, so it shouldn't take that long to read, and so far it's been an easy read. So we'll see how long it takes me to finish that. And yeah, okay. Bye! Also, just to update you guys, I did say that when I made this next video after the Throne of Glass that I was going to get a new bookshelf, and here it is. I'm so in love with it. Check it out. It is gorgeous. It is so cute. It is like, it's so the vibe. I love this so much. Like, you have no idea. I love this. And I want another one so bad, because I have like this weird thing about unevenness with certain things. Like, this is on one side of my TV, but I don't have one on the other side of my TV, and I kind of need that because it feels out of whack for me, and I need to fix that. So at some point soon, I'm going to get another bookshelf, and that's going to be over there on the opposite side. So yeah, I love it, and I needed it because some of my books were on the floor, and then some of them were like under my TV. Like, I had like shelves there too or whatever. And I didn't want to keep it there because it doesn't make sense to me to have the books there when I already have like 2 bookshelves here. And this is where I make my videos on top of that. So it just makes more sense that I have this here. So I'm really happy about it. And I got it from IKEA, by the way, if you guys are wondering. And it comes with like 2 drawers, which is cool. So I keep like random stuff in there. And also, I feel like this bookshelf actually made this part of the apartment more spacious, because there was like nothing here, and it just it didn't look right. Now it looks right, so I love it. I love it so much. Okay, that's it for the updates. Bye guys.